Well, the biggest help from YSI is the community that we have.
From the impact partners to the founders,
YSI helping me
How to think outside the box.
and to our startup journey.
And with YSI, you definitely with the right company.
welcome to YSIC Virtual Demo Day 2020. My name is Amelia and I'll be your MC for this evening. So the demo day will begin with Zoom pitches by our 13 teams before ending off with a casual networking session for our investors on another platform called Remo, which I will further elaborate at the end. So this year we are joined by event attendees from all over Southeast Asia, from countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, the Philippines, and Vietnam. We also have our YSI Global team here with us, watching in from Norway. And just as the current situation around the world has presented an opportunity for those who are not in Singapore to join us online, it has also allowed for other opportunities to surface, like reconsidering and readapting our present economic system to this new norm the world is facing. So as countries across the globe look into green recoveries, there is no better time to invest in a sustainable future than now. So YSIC's innovation program this year has 3 focus areas that are highly relevant in Southeast Asia. So firstly, we have food and agriculture. Secondly, circular economy. And finally, energy transitions. So today we are proud to present 23 regional impact entrepreneurs selected from 1,140 candidates, as well as their solutions to these pressing sustainability challenges. So these founders of early stage startups have worked relentlessly to continue scaling their impact regardless of the challenges posed by the circumstances for the past 4 months in YSIC's online innovation program. Today's demo day is the grand finale of YSIC's online innovation program 2020, and after months of hard work and building up their minimum viable product and getting the traction needed, they present their solutions for further investment, partnerships, and mentoring opportunities. So at the end of this event, 3 startups will be selected to receive hands-on mentorship and business coaching from Viapra, which is a patient capital venture builder headquartered in Singapore, to pitch to the investment committee for up to 100,000 Singapore dollars of funding. So now I would like to introduce Saya Surya, co-founder and CEO of YSIC, to say a few words about the program and the batch. Surya, please.
Right, thank you, Amelia. So hi, everyone. It's really a great pleasure to see all of you here. We have over 225 attendees today in Zoom, and we have been preparing for this for the past few weeks, and the batch itself, the innovation program itself, we have started planning for it almost a year ago. So I just wanted to give a bit of background about YSIC and also the batch that we'll be presenting today. For YSIC itself, we started in 2017 by myself and my co-founder Urshad to empower young professionals to solve sustainability challenges with a measurable impact. And given that our aim was to solve these sustainability challenges, we stuck to the United Nations 17 SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. And we thought that, let's get youth who are passionate about solving any of these sustainability challenges, and let's get them and let's make them go through a 5-month program to come up with startups and entrepreneurial solutions to solve these problems in their community. So in 2018 and 2019, we allowed our participants to determine which issues under the 17 SDGs they are particularly passionate about, and we worked with them to tackle these specific goals. And what came out of this were 14 startups in the last 2 years that addressed a wide variety of issues, which to this day we believe are worthy causes. But what we really found this year was focus, and we wanted to focus really on 3 verticals which are relevant to Southeast Asia and which are relevant to our current situation right now. The first will be future of food and agriculture. The second is clean energy. And the third is circular economy. And why do we do that? Primarily because these areas are fundamental issues that govern our everyday life, regardless of where we come from. Food, energy, and waste, right? And they're also complex sustainability issues by themselves and can benefit from more attention directed towards them. So narrowing our focus has really allowed us to build insights and tools to deepen our experience and to pay this knowledge forward within and beyond our ecosystem. So now that we have reached, the culminating events of the 2020 program, we're really happy to share that this year's batch has proven to us that we are moving in the right direction. And not only are we able to focus our resources and energy to nuance the more pressing problems affecting the region, we're also able to create a stronger community that could dive deeper into these challenges and also deeper find their passion to to address these challenges. So talking about our batch, we have really amazing 13 startups, early stage startups this year. And some of them are in the revenue generation stage, and some of them are in prototype stage. So I want you to keep this in mind when you hear their pitches. Some of them have already started revenue generating in a year or 2 years ago. And some of them, they are in the prototype stage, trying to get off and kick off from the ground. And we are really extremely proud of their growth and resilience they have shown over the past 4 months. Because none of us knew, none of these entrepreneurs knew that COVID-19 was going to change our lives when they applied. But even after it did, regardless of the supply chain challenges when it came to prototyping or whatsoever that came on, they really embraced it and they really took on this challenge and they overcame it. And what you see today is their end product and the work they have put in, not only over the past 4 months, but also over the past few years, they have been working on their startup. So having said that, none of this would have been possible without the trust, support, and guidance of our partners. So I really like to thank our principal partner, Temasek Foundation, who has supported us for the last 2 years in mobilizing regional solutions for sustainability issues. And also our knowledge partner, Interseed, who has provided the curriculum and relevant resources to our founders. Our ecosystem partners, DBS, RIEPRA, TBN Asia, Asia Institute of Mentoring, Social Collider, and Social Impact Catalyst, for also continuing to build this ecosystem with us, not only in Singapore, but all over Southeast Asia. And lastly, to our media partner, Cinema Without Wall, for the wonderful series documenting the 2020 cohort's journey. So the video you saw at the start was just a trailer for Demo D, but we have an eight episode series. Don't worry, they're pretty short, 5 minutes, documenting the process of the participants going through this program. So we are dedicated to continue to build this ecosystem with more partners. And the region has a lot of people who are passionate about tackling and solving sustainability challenges in their communities. So we will continue to do our work in building up this ecosystem. And we hope that you can join us in this journey and let's build a more vibrant Southeast Asian ecosystem together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Surya. So as ecosystem builders, YSIC is honored to be supported by Temasek Foundation in our work. So to kick off today's program, I would like to introduce Ms. Janet Neo, a board director at Temasek Foundation Ecosperity, advising on sustainable innovation and directing initiatives to enhance city livability. Her career is dedicated to spearheading sustainable businesses, green energy, water and waste management, ethical procurement, circular economy, community, impact investment, and partnerships. Janet was recently named Global Women's Forum Rising Talent Under 40 and World CSR Congress 100 Most Impactful CSR Leaders. So with that, I would like to introduce Board Director, Temasek Foundation Ecosperity, Janet Neo, for her opening speech. Janet, please.
Hi. Hello, everyone. A very good evening to all of you. I'm really excited to be here today on the second round of YSI Impact Program. I hope everyone is keeping safe and keeping healthy during this time. When we talk about COVID, it seems like a never-ending pandemic that we have been through the whole of 2020. It feels like maybe for many of us, oh my gosh, what just happened, right? Like time just went away. Like we're in the second half of 2020 already. But having said that, despite we know that the COVID-19 situation is one of the most drastic and severe health pandemic globally that has already affected like 14 million people. And even in Singapore right now, in the latest news, we know that there are still more than 300 cases of infections a day. Where I am based in Korea, there's a little spike of more than 20 people a day, but it's being managed pretty well. But I want to just encourage you, all of you, that despite, the changes, the very sudden changes that have hit you and all of us this year, you have not stopped on your journey to create impact and to follow your dreams. I got to know some statistics from the team that there are more than 420 people signed up for today's demo, and already more than 200 something people are already online. So I just can't wait to see this energy, although we are behind the screens or on the screen, that your energy level that you're bringing here, that it helps all of us today. So I want to share, like, today, you may feel that COVID-19 and everything that you have been doing feels like you're being caught in a storm or caught by a very nasty giant. And it just reminds me of the story of the big friendly giant. It's one of my favorite British novelist writer. His name is Rodell, and he wrote this story in 1982. So the story was about a town where there was an orphanage of kids, and one day their life changed because this little girl, her name is Sophia, and she was caught by the giant, the big friendly giant, and she went to the dream country and had to live with the giant. And can you just imagine what life would have been like for her? And for the giant, it is totally more than the new norm. It was disruption to its core. But yet we see how the story is developed, that there was a friendship that developed between this year-old girl and the big friendly giant, despite of his hideous looks. They became the best of friends. They helped each other. The giant taught her how to catch dreams. But even in the adventure of that, they caught a nightmare instead of a good dream. But what did they do with the nightmare? They used the nightmare to tackle the man-eating giants that were harming the world. So likewise, what you guys are doing today, more than the ventures that you're starting, more than the impact and the change that you want to see in the world, the friendship that you have forged over the last 4 months within your team, within this community, I think this is the most amazing thing that you guys have been through together. And it is something that you will have for the rest of your life. And it's this friendship. And together, that how do you overcome the difficult storms in your life, or this very exact COVID-19 storm? It is your hope and your faith that makes you unstoppable. And likewise, among the friends that you have, there is a really a verse, like a really wise saying that I hold dear to, and I'm always grateful for, that there are friends who stick closer to you like a brother, and true friends are hard to come by. And if you meet any of these friends in your lifetime, you're very, very, very fortunate. So I hope that through YSI Southeast Asia, you make a network of friends that goes beyond the shores of your own country. And at any point in time, you could just pick up your phone, drop a text on your WhatsApp, and reach out to your friends about the challenges, or even about celebrating good news that you have to share, and how you're going to go ahead with your ventures. How many of you will be a serial entrepreneur? How many of you will go into corporate sector? How many of you might become the politicians of tomorrow? We don't know what your future could look like, but your future is full of possibility. Yes, so today we know that more than 1,000 applications came in this year for this incubator. And today we have like more than 13 pitches that we will be going through. So I'm really excited. And I want to encourage you today, once again, that find like who is your big friendly giant that is walking this path with you. And I hope that, you know, like as you continue this journey, that you'll always have that friend that will chase down the dreams with you, and dreams can come true. Yeah. So thank you everybody again for inviting me here today. And one of the very big reasons why Temasek Foundation supports YSI Southeast Asia is that we believe in you. We believe in young people. Okay, we believe that your ideas are worthy. And more importantly, we believe that the resources that we could give you, the tools that we could give you, will be the life skills that can help your dreams come true. Whether it becomes wildly successful or it doesn't work in the first time, you try. And that's the spirit that we want to encourage all of you young people, that don't be afraid to try, and don't be afraid that no one believes in. You may think that your idea is kind of like silly. There's nothing worthless about ideas, because it starts with just the very fact that it starts in an idea, it can change the world. And we believe in you. We believe in this team. They have done a fantastic job in bringing this completely virtual, just in months, working really hard. I've seen them doing that. And also even before this program rolled out, Surya, they have come to our office and talked to us, putting in a lot of effort in the planning and delivering the best program that it can give to all of you in ASEAN. Yeah, so we believe in that. And remember that there's no big change that you can do, but with every small steps that you take, together, we can create a sustainable world and a future that we dream of living in. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeanette, for that very inspiring opening and your continued support together with Temasek Foundation. So indeed, we can navigate through the storm by staying focused on our ambitions and staying close to our communities through ups and downs. So our next speaker is one who is familiar with the ambitions of YSIC, Mr. Bidut Dungra. So YSIC first met Bidut back in June 2018, when the organization was only a year old then, and he gave YSIC 2 pieces of advice which have stuck to the founders till today, and that is 1, be sure of your ask, and 2, sell a vision. So both of these really motivated the founders to think hard about their model of operation and their larger vision. So since then, YSIC has successfully conducted 2 more incubation programs and have incubated a total of 24 startups to date. And YSIC have also found their focus to be more effective ecosystem builders in the areas of circular economy, food and agriculture, and energy transitions. So in addition to foster meaningful partnerships with organizations like Temasek Foundation and RIEPA. So just like how Bidut shared his wisdom with YSIC, we would like for him to impart some of his wisdom with our impact entrepreneurs and with you, our attendees. So without further ado, let me welcome the Head of Innovation of DBS, Bidut.
Hello, hello. Hope everyone is doing well. So, I mean, when I got the invite, I was super happy. And I guess I do recall when I did come in, it was down at the offices at SG Innovate when they had held the event, and distinctly remember speaking to Surya and the others over there. And I was struck very much by the energy and enthusiasm, and I'm super glad that you guys have continued on this journey. So from my side, when I looked at the startups, what really struck me, one was you've got super diversity in founders. You've got people from Indonesia, Malaysia, Vietnam, Philippines, Singapore, all coming together. And that in itself, I guess, is brilliant from a creativity and innovation perspective, because you've got a lot of diversity. Then to add on top of that, it was the ambition, because you've got the diversity in the problem statements. So you've got the clean energy, and you've got the food and the agriculture and the circular economy as wide frames. But when I went one step deeper, it was, you guys have got, I actually had to make notes because there were so many different startups tackling different issues. There was clean energy with IoT sensors, you had outdoor cooling systems, there was precision vertical farming, hydroponics, salad boxes, plant disease classifications, instant noodles, you had bamboo, floral waste, plastic waste, food waste, coffee waste, and multimedia. I mean, it seems like you guys are going to try to take all the world's problems and just solve them in one go. So from an ambition perspective, brilliant. I think it's great when you get the enthusiasm and also the spirit of young entrepreneurs and founders, because where some people say they might lack an let's say expertise, the ability for them to see these problems with new eyes, with the ability for them to look without the baggage behind them, I think that's what sometimes is the key differentiator for a very compelling solution that completely disrupts and changes the world. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with.
All right, thank you, Bidut. So our next segment is the key highlight that everyone has been waiting for, the virtual pitches from our founders. So each team is given 4.5 minutes to pitch their solutions, and there will be no Q&A involved during the pitches, but you can note down your questions, and after all the pitches have concluded, we strongly encourage you to join us for the networking session with the respective teams you would like to speak to and ask them your questions there. So with that, let's jump right into our first pitch, a team from the energy transition vertical, Light of Hope PH. So Light of Hope PH is focused on improving the lives of the underprivileged of the communities in the Philippines by helping them transition to affordable and clean renewable energy technologies combined with IoT sensor and data analytics. So introducing to you Light of Hope from the Philippines.
Hello everyone, I hope you are all safe and well. I am Joviel Montais of Light of Hope. I am a clean energy advocate with a background in electronics and communications engineering. A little bit of personal background about myself. I was born into a poor family in Mindanao, Philippines. I have a personal experience living in the dark using kerosene lamps to study at night together with my sister in the province. This life experience has fueled my passion in helping others get a chance of a better life. And this story is not just about me. It is about the 13% of the world's population who does not have access to electricity. That means 50 million people in Southeast Asia and 13 million people in the Philippines that are currently using kerosene lamps and candles to light up their night, spending $12 per month for buying kerosene gas, an additional $6 per month for charging their mobile phones, which translates into a 30% of their disposable income. As schools moving online, cash going digital, and remote work being the new normal, our underserved communities are more marginalized than ever. Light of Hope is an impact startup that is focused on improving the lives of the underserved off-the-grid communities through the use of clean renewable energy technologies. We started with the solar night lamps in the bottles. Through an amazing list of supporters, it has allowed us to reach many communities in the Philippines. 1,400 plus households has now access to light. $146 savings achieved per household per year. 2,800 plus PET plastic bottles has been repurposed and has been diverted from the landfills. And we also help reduce CO2 emissions of up to 80,000 kilograms. Our vision is from light to energy and livelihood. We wanted to empower families to generate new income per month through the cloud grid system. It is a solar power generator set with the Wi-Fi connectivity. It will enable families to have two new sources of income. First is to resell energy by charging mobile phones. Second is to resell the internet connectivity through the Wi-Fi. It also has the capability to capture IoT data such as energy consumption, the Wi-Fi usage, the location data, and we can integrate other sensors such as temperature, humidity, and others. The image on the left is our version 1.0 prototype. And on your right, you will see the user's interface for connecting to the prepaid Wi-Fi. Our business model is driven by recurring revenue streams. First is the subscription-based revenue model. User pays only $16 per month for the use of CloudGrid, and it will enable them to have a projected revenue of $169 per month. We also ought to monetize IoT data in year 3 and up. It will provide critical consumer insights into previously untapped locations, particularly useful for government, telcos, and utility companies. Third is the advertising revenue from push notifications. It will give the ability to reach new user segments that were previously too costly to serve, particularly interesting for financial inclusion. Our go-to-market is to activate the existing 1,400 plus beneficiaries, to have a strategic partnership with telephone companies, to partner with local and international NGOs. Let me introduce you to the team that is united by a common passion to enable lives. Our CFO, Simin Liu, our CTO, Efren Villarico, our community manager, Steve Richardson Lee, and our technical advisor, Edmond Briseño. Join us and help build communities today. Keep on sharing the light and be a light hero. Once again, we are the Light of Hope. Thank you.
Thank you, Light of Hope PH, for that astonishing pitch. It's really great to see how some of your prototypes have already positively impacted the community. So our second team is the food and agriculture vertical, and this team uses a precision vertical farming method that combines the best practices of local farms with the latest technologies to grow the best quality produce in a systematic way. Introducing Datanam.
Hi, my name is Daniel, co-founder of Datanam, an agri-tech startup that focuses on precision vertical farming. If you eat food on a daily basis, we need you to pay attention as we address one of the most challenging issues moving forward. It's about food and agriculture. By 2050, there will be 9.8 billion of us on this planet Earth, with 68% of urbanization rate. And with all that, we need to increase our current production by 70% to meet global food demand. Malaysian agriculture landscape is nothing different. Large imports of vegetables, 6.6 billion on a yearly basis, and 1/3 of those are leafy greens, making our total addressable market is more than 2 billion ringgit. Malaysian government aims to increase the local vegetable production by 30%. That provides an opportunity for us actually to participate. With the current level of 33 million of population, Malaysian population predicted to be more than 40 million by 2050, which is a market growth potential. Clearly, food security is a major issue in Malaysia as we are dependent on other countries for our food source. To address it, we have developed Datanam, a precision vertical farming system combined with the best farming practice and technology to maximize yield while minimizing usage of energy to ensure sustainable production. Why Datanam? Higher productivity, simply resource efficient, and zero pesticide. For technical and technology and timeline, we'll hand over to my teammate, Dr. Daniel, to explain after this short video.
Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Daniel, co-founder of DataNam. The video just now shows the current system we are working on right now, which is the PBF Type C container as shown here. We are developing different system modules for shop lots, warehouse, and home to cater different segments. We optimize our system to cultivate these vegetables. These are high in demand, commonly consumed, as best for Malaysian market. Our research and development efforts are working on building more varieties to be grown using our DataNam system. The three technologies that we highlighted in gray are the existing one we have now in our system. Moving forward, we are looking to include more technology to make DataNam future-driven. Vertical farming industry, similar to other industry, faces its own set of challenges, mainly being huge capital expenditure, high energy consumption, and many more. DataNam works to address this because we know precision vertical farming is the future of agriculture. These are our focus areas for the next 1 year to reinforce our presence in Malaysia. However, for the next 5 years, we are looking at penetrating regional market across Malaysia and ASEAN. To achieve such vision, we collaborated with multiple agencies and organizations, including participating in global platforms such as YSI and World Economic Forum Uplink. Currently, we have 3 existing prospects pilot, which with the local city council, the national police force, and also one of the government initiatives in Malaysia. We did a thorough local market competitor analysis and found that DataNam excels in all 4 aspects of system development, energy efficiency, high quality produce, and precision farming. So moving forward, what do we need? We're actually looking for a seed capital around $100,000 US, experts and mentors to work with, and also partners and collaborators across Asia and the Pacific. Our team consists of diverse individuals with their own respective skill set, which make us balanced commercially and technically. With that, I look forward to work with all of you, and thank you.
Thank you, DataNam, for that brilliant pitch. So the solution that they have bridges the technological gap that traditional farmers face against the challenge of the climate crisis. So we'll now move on to the next startup, focusing on food and agriculture. So this team is working on improving efficiency of small farmers with simple agri-tech that connects the farmers to students and staff in universities to offer affordable and healthier food from harvested produce in a form of a salad box. Introducing Phytopia.
Currently, there are 2 pressing issues in the market. First, more than half of all poor working adults are in agriculture. And second, our youth at the university don't consume enough healthy foods. What if I tell you that we have found the solution to these 2 problems? Hi, my name is Muhammad, the CEO and co-founder from Phytopia, a startup who are redefining healthy foods. Stay with me and let me share with you how we did it. In the area where I live, Jeli, Kelantan, the main economic activity of the people here is in agriculture. Most of them work as rubber tapper as early as 5 in the morning, and on the afternoon they work at oil palm plantation. Despite of these hard works, on average, their monthly income is just $130, which is extremely low. On the other hand, the second issue is the fact that 60% of Malaysian university students do not practice healthy diets. Research indicates some of the reason is no access, as all cafeteria are selling delicious Malaysian foods, which most of them known to be infamously swimming in pool of oil, or even there is any healthy option available, mostly they are expensive. The other reason is their own attitude. Well, I won't blame them. Who want to eat bitter, blunt vegetables, right? So how do we at Phytopia solve these 2 problems with one simple solution? We act as a platform or bridge connecting these 2 populations. We match the small farmers with our partially subsidized modular hydroponic system, at the same time providing continuous training and support. We tell them what kind of vegetables they need to grow, how to take care of them, and at the end of the cycle, we buy all of these vegetables with fair price. After that, We bring the greens into our social cafe and process them into a healthy food, or as we brand them, Dash with Impact. Stands for delicious, affordable, sustainable and healthy with impact. As it is our mission to build healthy community, we invite Phytopians, our loyal patrons, to join us in community outreach using funding from Phytopunks. Together with our partners, we went to primary schools and kindergarten around the area to create awareness about healthy eating and food security. We also had Zumba with Impact. These are some of the pictures showing our system and our product. Pesticide-free, beautiful-looking plants turned into affordable and delicious healthy foods for the campus community. Phytopia was incorporated in September, and until February, we have recorded $24,000 in revenue, with 55% repeat customer. Meanwhile, our farmers doubled their monthly income while also gaining knowledge about agricultural technology. We achieve all of this while operating suboptimally and logistically challenging in the small university food lab. And now, after witnessing the huge potential of this venture, we are excited to bring more impact. For that, we need $50,000 to open 2 new outlets in another universities, onboarding another 8 farmers into this journey, and also to upgrade the current system to produce fruiting crops such as cherry tomato. Our larger mission is to expand out to bigger territory, impacting more souls. In our first phase, we aim to cover all 4 public universities in Klang Valley with a combined population of 74,000 people, and by 2024 to have our first million. This time, our farmer partners will be from the group of urban poor. With everything we have achieved so far with a mere 3,000 people population, imagine what we can do with a market 25 times the size. And the most resonating story about our adventure so far is this. A child can now go to school with some extra pocket money due to Phytopia. Imagine if we can bring this to more people. I believe together we can do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Phytopia, for that awesome sharing. The business idea not only helps small farmers to access another revenue source, but also allows the busy students and staff of universities to maintain a healthier diet. So the following team focusing on circular economy solutions is one that envisions the creation of a food waste management infrastructure that connects excess supply with the unmet demands for food by redistributing perfectly edible, unconsumed food products to the people and organizations that need them at different levels. Introducing Rescue.
Have you ever wasted food? Well, I have, and chances are if you're a Filipino, you're already wasting 2 spoonfuls of rice a day, which might not seem like a large amount, but this number adds up. The 300,000 tons a year in the Philippines, which amounts to more than 7 billion pesos, which could feed more than 2.5 million people for 1 full year. And this is just for rice. 33% of all food produced in the Philippines goes to waste. And out of all this waste, 40% happens before even reaching the retail level. Which gives us something to think about, because all this surplus food that we have is failing to make mass. Which causes serious problems because this represents an inequality in food distribution and puts a strain on our food security. This drives up greenhouse gases emissions and pollutions, and this represents an economic loss in the value of food. $2.11 billion to be exact, or surplus food that is wasted in Metro Manila. So the question is, why are we not tapping into this potential? And why are we not rescuing food? Well, great news for you, because with Rescue, we are going to do just that. In 3 ways. We are going to streamline the supply chain, we're going to help companies better manage their food surplus, and we're going to educate and engage our consumers. So at a very, very core, what Rescue seeks to do is to channel the surplus food to make mass. And how we are going to do that is that we're going to collect surplus food from different players in the supply chain. We're talking about farmers, consolidators, distributors and retailers, and through our web platform, we're going to make them available to our end customers at a discount. And we're going to do this at several stages. Firstly, we'll be focusing on individual customers, households and manufacturers, and after which whatever is not finished will be channeled to charities, and then funds for livestock feed, and then composting facilities. And through all of this, we'll be able to minimize waste at every single step along the way. For our suppliers, we'll be helping them manage their food surplus and create extra revenue. And for our customers, we'll be making available great quality food at clearance prices. So through all of this, we envision to create a win-win situation where everyone can enjoy all the goodness of food without the hassle. So in terms of that, what have we achieved so far? Well, we've got our shop page up and running. Simply have to add the items you want to cart, check out and make payment. As for our suppliers, we are currently in discussions with NGOs and local government units, and we are currently in negotiation with 3 smallholder farmers to talk about our very first batch of supplies. For our customers, we are adopting a 2-pronged social media approach. So firstly, through our official pages, we are trying to increase awareness and promote engagement through the use of educational content. Secondly, through our community page Surplus Food Manila, we are trying to build a community, increase awareness and promote engagement through the use of organic content. In the past 1 month, we've managed to get 440 members who actively talk about the issue of food waste, share their recipes and even sell their food surplus on our platform. And we fully plan to further build and leverage on this. Which brings me to my next point, our roadmap. In the first year, we aim to establish our operations, which will allow us to reach out to our first 150 active users and divert our first 100 tons of food surplus. In the second year, we plan to optimize by growing our existing customer base and diversify into different customer and supplier groups. In the third year, once we've established and optimized our operations, we'll be looking to expand beyond Metro Manila. So with that in mind, here is our financial forecast. We are expecting to run at a deficit of $22,000 in the first year because we'll be investing money into building the supply chain, which will allow us to grow in a robust, scalable and sustainable way. We are expecting to break even by the third year with this forecast. And on that note, we are asking for 2 key things. The first is $30,000 in investments for us to be able to build our supply chain. And second is partnership that will allow us to connect the suppliers and corporate customers. And so here's the team. We have myself, Hira and Titi. And it's been an absolute privilege to come together to YSI and work with such a talented and dedicated team. And we're very excited to see how we can collaborate with you to create impact in this market. So before we end off, I'd just like to share one more thing, our core philosophy, that a sustainable food system is not simply about producing more or wasting less, but it is about getting food exactly to where they are needed at the right time. So with that, thank you so much for listening and we look forward to speaking to you.
Thank you, Fescue, for sharing that wonderful idea. So it is definitely important to rechannel these perfectly edible foods to people who might need it more. And by doing so, not only do you help the environment, but the people too. So next is an energy transition team that aims to provide renewable powered outdoor cooling systems that helps cities and businesses improve the health and well-being of the public. Introducing Solitaire.
Hi everyone, I'm Abhi. Natalia and I are working on Solitaire. We were brought together by our passion for creating change using our technical skills. Between us, we have a master's and a PhD in engineering. I specialize in green technology and have worked on various tech solutions in Singapore and in the UK. Natalia has over 10 years of experience in sensors and urban planning and has founded companies that specialize in air distribution systems in different parts of the world. Today, I'm here to talk to you about space cooling. The air conditioner was invented over 100 years ago, but the design pretty much hasn't changed. You might say, is it really necessary to reinvent the wheel? That's where we beg to differ. The air conditioner is more harmful than you would think. First, it's a huge contributor to the increasing demand for energy in buildings both globally and in Southeast Asia. Also, cooling is actually heating up our world due to carbon emissions, especially in densely populated areas such as cities. At Solitaire, we want to do things differently. That's why we are building a completely solar-powered, intelligent energy system for sustainable cooling that saves energy, reduces costs, and provides eco-cooling. We are able to do this with our innovative design using flexible solar panels that act as foldable blinds that can be installed in any window. The compact components means easy integration and installation. And we want to bring this to a hotel near you. Imagine your next stay. Once you leave the room, the blinds automatically roll down, harness energy, and once you're back, using smart sensors, provide adaptive cooling for your comfort. You might ask, why hotels first? We believe that there's an increasing demand for sustainability in hotels, and hotels are acting on this. We want to specifically target on pragmatic environmentalism by giving them this operational practice that is both visible and profitable. And air conditioning is definitely a pain point for hotels because it is the biggest contribution to electricity bills and a huge contributor to their operational costs. You might say, well, there are other eco-solutions such as rooftop solar panels. However, we fill a gap that no other solution can. Because in high-rise buildings such as hotels, the rooftop space is pretty much never enough to meet the electricity demand of the building. That's why we are leveraging on windows instead. Using economies of scale, we are able to lower down the costs of this solution as there are many windows with similar structures. And the cost of doing this is very comparable to a typical air conditioner at around 800 Singapore dollars. There are additional costs with installation and service costs, that is a subscription monthly fee. However, the true value is the savings in the operational expenses over a year of more than $2,000 due to the savings in utilities bills. So far, we have had promising results with our prototype. We are now able to provide over 10 hours of cooling after full charge after testing with different solar panels and different cooling methodologies. The next steps for us would be to include smart sensors into our integrated systems, optimizing our cooling technology, as well as embarking on a pilot program to show our credibility. This is where we need your support. From partnerships with clients and businesses in the industry, as well as mentorships with technical specialists and experts, we need your help in making this a reality. Thank you for listening, and we hope to bring Solitaire to a window near you. Thank you.
Thank you, Solitaire, for that wonderful pitch. Living in Singapore, the urban heat island effect is felt very strongly here, and I personally am always in this dilemma of choosing to be less comfortable and making do with my fan or turning on the air conditioning to cool my humid room down. But with this idea, it will be able to take away my guilt of choosing to turn on the air conditioner on some days. So moving on to our next team is a startup in the food and agriculture vertical. So they have an ambition to make digital farming mainstream in Southeast Asia. So Lively wants to help local farmers and agripreneurs to make better decisions with data. Their solution is a plant disease classification tool powered by AI, which aims to reduce farm expenses by shortening the waiting time and optimizing fertilizer input. So introducing Lively.
I'm Roy Joseph Roberto from the Philippines, and I'm a data scientist and the founder of Leafly, a digital farming solution that aims to help uplift farmers' lives with artificial intelligence. Not a lot of people seem to take interest in farming as an industry. For some of them, it's not even close to what they consider a decent job. This issue is quite personal to me, as I'm from a family of farmers myself. My great-grandfather and those that came before him were farmers themselves. Back then, it was a financially lucrative career. My grandpa was able to raise all his 5 children well and send them to reputable schools. But my grandpa is now nearly 80 years old, and sadly no one in the family seemed to take interest in following his lead. So I founded this startup to help make farmers' lives easier and more decent. Perfect timing. The United Nations declared 2020 as the International Year of Plant Health. This is a perfect opportunity as well to highlight the pressing issues in the agricultural sector, especially for small-scale farmers with outdated farming practices. Hence, we offer a low-cost app-based farming solution that classifies plant diseases using AI. This serves as a decision support tool to help our farmers optimize their limited resources. And apart from diagnosing the disease, it also provides suggestions on how much fertilizer should be applied to the infected crop. Our solution uses convolutional neural networks, or CNN, for superior image recognition performance. CNN is an AI algorithm that mimics how the brain works. The algorithm is able to train itself to recognize images with great accuracy. There are three types of layers involved. The input layer, which could be images of plant diseases. The hidden layers are where each image is dissected into distinct features. And finally, the output layer for prediction results. Our app works even on low-resolution images, so you don't need an expensive smartphone to run it. Since it's also automated, there is less worry of committing error in classifying plant disease, especially when one disease appeared to be identical to the other. Our solution also has a great future potential. Given enough data, it can as well be used to analyze fruit quality, soil health, and farm animals. It usually takes weeks or months for a field technician to analyze samples, and with our app, all you have to do is take a photo of the plant leaf, upload it, and get near real-time prediction. But how impactful can this be? According to the Philippine Statistics Authority, there are 4.4 million hectares of rice farms in the country. The average cost of producing rice is around 50,000 pesos per hectare. If there is about 40% production loss due to plant diseases, our farmers can lose up to 88 billion pesos. A 20% reduction in this loss using our app translates to more or less 44 billion pesos in savings. So in the next 6 months, we'll reach out to more farmers so we can pilot test our product in their respective farms and collect data as well. Our team leverages our technical expertise in data science, in app development, user experience design, and domain expertise. We are now actively looking for mentors, partners, and investors. Specifically, we need 10,000 SGD to sustain our operations for the next 6 months and conduct comprehensive R&D initiatives and market the product to gain more traction and credibility. Thank you.
Thank you, Lively, for that interesting pitch. So with the help of their AI, it helps these farmers to make more informed agricultural decisions. So before we head to a short video break, I would like to introduce our next team that focuses on food and agriculture. So this team offers hydroponic and aquaponic solutions along with training and education to farmers to provide healthier, tech-driven ways of growing and consuming food produce. Introducing HydroAgro.
Hi everyone, my name is Aris Lustio Bravo. I'm the CEO of HydroAgro. Before we are going to talk about HydroAgro, I'm going to talk about Indonesia agriculture. We know that Indonesia is the world's fourth most popular country and also one of the biggest agriculture producing country in Southeast Asia. But with the urbanization, unfortunately, the number of farmers has dropped from 31 million in 2003 to 26 million in 2013. The reason is two. First, people from villages go to the cities to get a better job and also income. Second, agricultural land is being rapidly transformed into residential and also industrial area, like in my hometown, Medan. This has resulted in an aging farmers' population in Indonesia, threatening its food security. Today, the COVID-19 situation has forced us to rethink our food security problem. It limits our interaction in public areas such as like market, so we cannot fulfill our daily needs itself. The modern consumer exactly has heard about advanced and also innovative agriculture technologies which could fulfill their daily needs. Yet, he has a lack of knowledge and also lack of access to this technology. How we can solve this problem? We can build a digital community. In over 70% of Indonesia cities population has access to the internet. With our own website, HydroAgro has been educating society about hydroponic. We have also built two main features in here. First, HydroAgro course. In HydroAgro course, we empower consumers with knowledge on how to cultivate their plants properly. We provide 100% also guarantee until the plants harvest. In HydroAgro product, we sell an advanced equipment such as like insulation, nutrients, and also other tools that enable consumers to cultivate their plants. We were established in February 2019, and 1.5 years, we have grown to 400 members strong. Our customers are distributed over all 43 provinces in Indonesia. Together, we want to make our cities more resilient to fight against food security inspired by Sustainable Development Goal 11. We are proud that in this COVID-19 situation, our online course has doubled our consumer base in just 2 months. Our revenue also has been increased as well. Today, HydroAgro has gained around 120 million rupees or around $12,000 Singapore. We estimate a quite high rate of return after assessing the complex challenges and the risk of our investment. In the next 2 years, HydroAgro is transforming itself through digitalization. This year, we are building an app to expand our consumer base and increase our traction. The question is, why apps? In Indonesia, 100 million people use smartphone, and it is really easy to connect with them. And also, we built a third feature in here called HydroAgro Market. In HydroAgro Market, we want to connect buyer and also farmer directly without any existence of middleman itself. Our expansion will take place in 2 phases. Our first phase in here is we want to triple our consumer base in the end of 2021. After gaining traction, we will begin our second phase of increasing our profit margins. Thus, to aid us in our first phase, we are seeking $100,000 Singapore in seed funding. We will use it mostly for our digitalization strategy and growing our market share. Last but not least, I would like to introduce you our team, myself as a CEO, an entrepreneur with 2 years experience in hydroponic, Wei Qing, our CMO, an expert in politics, law, and also economics analysis for business development, and Fajar, our CTO, who has innovative management and product development background. We are not stopping here. We believe in building a digital hydroponic community to increase our resilience against our national threat of food insecurity. Thank you.
Thank you, HydroAgro, for that outstanding pitch. So the use of your technology will empower these local farmers with knowledge on managing their produce better. So just as the world has almost come to a halt in 2020, our 23 founders this year had to adapt to building a startup from their homes. So this is unlike any of our past innovation programs where participants were flown to Singapore for the last 10 days of the innovation program, including a physical demo day. So working from home has its own set of challenges, which I'm sure all of us here have experienced some form of, but having to build a startup from home, that's a whole nother level. So here's a video of our participants sharing their experiences and challenges of building a startup from their homes.
I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Working on a startup is hard.
There are tons of challenges.
Especially not while you're juggling your first full-time job or during this global pandemic.
The tricky part is to how to manage your time. We have 2 kids.
Juggling work.
Having to juggle my day job.
Juggle between job, studies, juggling architecture school,
Our thesis.
I essentially have to do a startup
Work on my startup.
Startup idea.
startup responsibilities all at once.
from scratch remotely with Wi-Fi.
I don't think most of us have really been through this kind of pandemic lockdown.
With the ongoing COVID crisis,
Everything has to be moved online, and I can't meet up with my team to work on the prototype like physically in the Makers Lab.
Because we're from different countries in the team, we have to walk the extra mile in aligning our schedules as well.
there's only so much that you can do virtually to build up the interpersonal relationship, but even more so
because indirect communication is not always effective to catch the message than direct one.
There are also language and communications barrier, like I said.
I do sometimes feel like I'm very detached because I'm not on the ground. I don't see what's happening. I've never seen what the living conditions was. I live in a developed country like Singapore where, living off the grid is not even something that any of my friends or anybody that I know is struggling with. So that level of detachment is something that I really would like to bridge, but you can't do that in this situation.
So for the first few months, I was only using 3G to access and upload everything. And it was really a pain because downloading a 5-minute video can take up to 5 to 6 hours.
I think I was never a work from home type of person. I think I'm more effective in a restaurant or in a coffee shop that were designed meticulously, or in a library whenever I'm with friends.
It's more difficult to do testing. It's difficult to canvas locations where you want your product to be implemented. And we're forced to think of innovative ways to get around this and still continue to create progress in our startup.
When you're working from home, it's very easy to lose track of time.
The only days that I can differentiate is Friday, because as a Muslim I have to go to Friday prayer. Then I know that it's Friday.
So because I'm working as well, I have a full-time job. Typically 8:30 to 6 p.m. on weekdays I'll be working. Right. So the only time that I really get to spend on Circular Blueprint, right, is before work and after work.
In the evening or at weekends.
After school, I do all my homework and then I dedicate a few hours of my day to just continue working on our side thing.
And that's been a challenge.
Also, being stuck in the same room all day and all night can be emotionally, mentally, and physically draining.
It takes real motivation to even start doing all of that.
And thick skin to keep working at it.
And YSI is there every Sunday to remind you again that, hey, another week is coming, another assignment is waiting.
However, the YSI team has been really active.
Working with them is really a partnership where they give us feedback, comments, and ideas that we could work on.
Our impact partner has also been highly resourceful.
It has been an awesome journey so far, and we were also able to pitch to TBN Asia because of the connection to YSI-CA.
So this is how a typical day when I'm not working will look like.
When I have some free time, I would play sports with my family and friends.
I'm a little bit of exercise fanatic, I would say. I would try to exercise every day.
And I do some yoga every now and then to help with my back pains.
I exercise with my bicycle in the morning.
Just to keep myself fit, apart from, the mental exhaustion that I feel because of the pandemic.
I've been trying to do virtual classes from around the world, be it cooking or yoga, so that I feel more engaged and positive.
Or I think in my case, just letting my mind flow through sketching and drawing at the end of the day before going to bed.
Because during those quiet times, those are the times that I could reflect on my own, and I could reflect on the things that's happening around me.
Make sure to talk to people, make sure to connect with your family.
I'm quite social, so I really like picking up my phone and like, hi guys, what you doing?
And talking to a dog or suddenly video calling my friend is important to keep me sane.
So I think at the end of the day, keeping sane, keeping healthy, keeping motivated, it's really all about the balance. I don't think human beings are supposed to be living in this fully isolated situation. So I guess remember to take little breaks is what I would say.
Because I do believe that isolation limits the space, but not the opportunity.
So the pandemic has brought about a set of limitations that go beyond working remotely, but extends to our founders having to manage the daily operations of their startups while looking ahead and planning forward. So the demo day happening right now is proof that our founders have persevered to go above and beyond to continue working relentlessly to gain traction. So next up, we have a startup focusing on circular economy solutions that reimagines the future with bamboo as sustainable material. They aim to put bamboo in all parts of one's life, from houses to products, from food to furniture. Introducing the Bamboo Company.
Right now, we are in the middle of a global crisis. Tons of millions of plastics are being thrown each year, and ocean level is rising. Here in the Philippines specifically, thousands of forests is being destroyed, and millions of Filipinos are hungry and in poverty. And that's the reason we look for a solution that is biodegradable, sustainable, something that could act as a carbon sink, while at the same time could provide jobs for the people. And this is why we imagine the future with bamboo. I'm Jamico Hamlang, and I'm the managing director and founder of the Bamboo Company, a social enterprise that aims to solve global issues with the use of bamboo. So the Bamboo Company acts as an industry enabler. It has a platform that connects different manufacturers of bamboo products, while at the same time, it trains and develops rural communities across the Philippines for them to have their own enterprise who can make bamboo items. We also work with the government to develop new technologies and products while also creating market opportunities to boost and develop the bamboo industry in the country. We've been operating for 2 years already, and we have created a revenue of $240,000 last year. Even in this pandemic, we were able to create a traction of $75,000 for the month of May and June alone. We have also partnered with 100 plus corporate partners and tapped 5 community partners across the Philippines. We have a portfolio of 30 plus products. And this is just the beginning. We have just served a small percentage of the market. And globally, there's a $1 billion industry for bamboo. As we grow our enterprise, we look for new opportunities. And one opportunity that we have seen is the boom of the food industry or the food delivery industry in the Philippines. And with this, it creates plastic waste along the way. In the Philippines specifically, there's a growth every year for food deliveries, and millions of single-use plastic cutleries are being thrown. That's why we aim for a solution that is durable, sustainable, biodegradable, and cost-effective. And that's through the bamboo cutlery. This new product line has a big opportunity in terms of business and in terms of impact of reducing plastic waste each year. And this just showcases the various opportunities for bamboo, as it is a material that could sustainably impact the people and the planet. With the vision of creating a future made of bamboo, we ask you to be with us. And that's why we offer 10% of our enterprise for $200,000. And bulk of this amount will be used to further expand our business and our impact. This will be executed with our team that has already a track record of hitting the numbers. And together, we ask you again to be with us to create a beautiful future.
Thank you, the Bamboo Company, for that lovely pitch. So bamboo is indeed a sustainable resource that I personally enjoy using as well in my daily life. So the next circular economy team in line focuses on waste recycling, starting with waste generated from ceremonial offerings in temples of Bali. As Bali's first temple waste solution, Recycle Up aims to recycle floral waste into valuable products. Introducing Bali Recycle Up.
Every year, around 8 million tons of flowers from worshipping activity are discarded away to the river in South Asia. It contributes to the river pollution because of the use of the pesticide that the flower plantation leak into the water and decrease the quality of water as the drinking water resources. The similar thing is happening in Bali Island. Around 3,000 Balinese Hindus are doing ceremonial, and at the end of the day, they produce around 2,000 liters of the temple waste, which is directly disposed into the landfill without any treatment and the insufficient processing facility in the island. Responding to this issue, Bali Recycle Up aims to apply the circular economic model to design waste out from the current temple ecosystem by converting this discarded flower into organic incense. As the first solution to address the monumental waste issue, our product, Sekar, is a sustainable hope fragrance brand from non-worshipping activities made from the fairy waste flowers that are being thrown away. It's 100% of charcoal-free and 100% organic, and using all local materials. On our mission to ensure that temples, a cultural icon of Bali, are no longer the contributor of the landfill waste, we also continuously working on a new product innovation besides the cars. And now looking at our customer base, We will market the Sakar into individuals who are doing yoga at home and institutions such as spas, souvenir shops, and hotels across Bali Island. With our brand story of creating harmony between the culture, environment, and the society, we expect that Sakar can become an authentic souvenir for visitors that come to the Bali Island. In terms of market size, our demand is driven by the Bali's attraction of wellness tourism. Accounting for the impact of the COVID-19, we anticipate that the serviceable obtainable market to be 1.2 million US dollars. We are planning to produce and commercialize our Sakar at the end of 2020 with a pilot project, and by 2023 we are targeting to handle 70% of the temple waste in Bali Island by replicating our project, and leading to our 5 years goal of establishing a recycling center in Bali Island. And so far we already have a partnership with the Tanah Kilap Temple, a public temple in Bali Island, for our project in the end of this year. The business plan will scale by rolling out the project from one temple to another, and we are expecting 15 public temples in Bali are included in the first year. As a social enterprise, we also concerned about reaching impact concerning on the environment and the local community. In the year, nearly 40,000 tons of discarded flour expected to be recycled by Bali Recycle Up. By replicating this project from one temple to another, we are expecting about 230 public temples across Bali are included, and also additionally 4,700 of community temples are initiated to manage their waste. Through our business model, we are expecting to be profitable from the first year of operation. With a projected profit of 30,000 US dollar in 2023, we are continuing to scale and are looking for expertise and investment to provide us with a scaling capacity, such as working space, pressing machines so that we can produce more incense in the day, mentorship for sustainable circular business, and funding about 30,000 US dollar. Our team, me, Imadewa Wijaya, I'm very passionate on the waste recycling and have a PhD in environmental engineering. Tauha from Vietnam, she's really interested in circular economy, has a degree in management, and really experienced in marketing. We have a research and development division by Putu Eka, administration and logistics by Dede and Sandi, and also social media and branding division with Prima and Pandey. That's all from Bali Recycle Up. Connect centuries of Balinese culture with modern day sustainability. Thank you.
Thank you, Bali Recycle Up, for that excellent pitch. It is truly a novel idea to even think about recycling ceremonial flowers and turning it into other forms of wellness products. So our next team focuses on circular economy solutions, and this team is all about upcycling plastic waste into eco-building materials in an effort to make housing more affordable, safer, and better. Introducing Circular Blueprint.
Hi, my name is Bobby. I'm the founder and CEO of Circular Blueprint. So we transform plastics to create adequate and affordable housing. So let me start off with a story first. Sometime last year, I transported this old lady. She was trying to push this heavy trolley of cardboard boxes up a slope. So I went over to help her, and out of curiosity, I asked her, "Hey auntie, how much can you actually sell all these cardboard boxes for?" And she told me that all of those is about 15 to 20 kg, and she can sell it for about $5. So when I heard that, I was so shocked, because that's her income for that one day. And I asked her again, why didn't you want to collect plastic since there's so much of it lying around everywhere? She told me that she can't, because plastics are simply worthless and she can't get any money out of it. So that sparked a thought in me and got me thinking so hard about how to tackle the plastic waste problem while trying to empower more people like herself. So a few months down the road, Circular Blueprint was created, and this is our company's vision. So to solve this problem, right, there are two things that we need to do first. First is by maximizing the value of plastics by upcycling it. And second is by being the waste aggregator, so that we are able to maximize the sharing of profits with all these informal waste collectors. So how do we maximize the value of plastics? Well, to be honest, it is actually very difficult to recycle plastic waste to begin with, as there's numerous reasons that contributes to it in the first place. But as an engineer myself, I've always known that the construction industry tends to use a lot of waste materials. And as a matter of fact, right, there are still so many people living in inadequate and unsafe houses. So I asked myself, can we actually use plastics to build houses? Would it be possible? Well, fast forward, we have validated this hypothesis, and it is actually very feasible to build houses using plastic waste. And introducing and we want to show you CircBrick. And this is the product roadmap for CircBrick. And this is the first version of CircBrick. And this is the second version of CircBrick. Still a little ugly. And yeah, so this is our third and latest version. And we have created 18 specimens during this time to fully test the normalized average strength of our bricks. And yeah, our bricks are tested and certified to meet the British standard for masonry. And also, we have come to validate a few things. So our CircBrick can be up to 30% cheaper and 52% reduction in carbon emission as compared to red clay bricks. So each CircBrick, right, 100 grams of plastic waste is being upcycled into it. And that translates to about at least 200 kg of plastic waste can be upcycled or can be reused when we are building a 50-meter square home. So this is our traction. Right now we are currently working with Singapore Polytechnic with, for prototyping and testing purposes. And right now we have consulted 6 companies for validation. This is our startup's timeline. And yes, this is our amazing, agile and diverse team at Circular Blueprint. And lastly, we have demonstrated our ability to be lean by building fast, validating fast, and learning fast. Therefore, we are seeking a funding of 100,000 to further improve our R&D processes, cover our manpower costs and overhead costs. At the same time, we are also looking for partnerships for any sort of test bedding purposes. So please join us on this journey to make housing more affordable, safer, and better. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Circular Blueprint, for that incredible sharing. Not only are they trying to divert plastic waste into other products like housing bricks, they are making sure that this new form that the plastic takes is safe for people living under these bricks. So we are down to our final 3 teams, and the team up next is a citizen media company which tells audiovisual stories captured by people for the people. Cinema Without Wall uses cinematic reporting to communicate grassroots insights on sustainability issues to key decision makers with the mission of enabling better collaboration and cohesion of policies, as well as business decisions with the opinions on the ground. Introducing Cinema Without Wall.
Hi, I'm Cecilia, filmmaker and founder of Cinema Without Wall. We are a crowdsourcing platform that produces audio-visual insight. Now we'll explain why we need to start this from Indonesia. Indonesia is the 4th biggest country in the world, with 66% of the population being a potential workforces. However, by Human Capital Index, the quality of workforces of Indonesia is 85 countries left behind from Singapore. And our youth unemployment rate is the 2nd worst in Southeast Asia. These are facts before the pandemic. Now with the pandemic, the situation is so much worse. A lot of people cannot go to school, cannot have a job, and the future has become much more uncertain. That's why we created Cinema Without Wall, the next generation media where young people can learn by being the content creators. How it works? For example, mapping food productions across Indonesia. Now imagine during this pandemic, a lot of food were wasted in the village. Why? Farmers don't know how to sell. Villagers can't buy in bulks, and no one in the city knows because there was no single news that covered the issue. Worst part of it, we were not only wasting food, we were also wasting economic opportunities. which Cinema Without Wall can capture just with a smartphone. Imagine if we can get all of this information from our captures across the islands, with their consent and reward for their contribution. We can locate a place with surplus, a place that needs more. We can raise awareness that our mainstream media today cannot provide. We can also inform people to grab the opportunity and make new alternative jobs available. Best of all, our content is so easy to watch, just like watching at a cinema. And our business model is a circular ecosystem, where the more you watch, the more people can make a living. We don't put ads, but we do branded content partnership. If you want to support more people, you can subscribe as low as $3 per month, which we are very optimistic that we can have a 65% conversion rate. Why? First, Indonesians have a strong sense of community. We aim to start with 10,000 captures, make them proud, and feel the benefit of our media. That each capture will turn 10 of his friends and family to become users, and therefore a lot of new insights in the region. But not just that. Our marketing plan is also about validating our content. Instead of us judging what they want, we prefer to work together and listen to what they need. Because Cinema Without Wall is our media. Moving on to the market size, we have a potential 1 million captures in Indonesia. That each capture can bring at least 2 of his friends and family to subscribe the cheapest plan. If we have 2 million subscribers, we are only capturing 6% of the share market. Imagine what we can do more with you on board. So at Cinema Without Wall, we believe the future of work is crowdsourcing. Doesn't matter if there's only me today and my advisors, because we collaborate with other institutions and enterprises at different expertise. Our success is defined by the number of collaborations and the number of young people that we can help to have a better life quality. Thank you for watching. I'm Cecilia. I'm looking forward to discuss more with you.
Thank you, Cinema Without Wall, for that fantastic pitch. So what they do really empowers ordinary citizens like you and I, and allows citizens to contribute in ways they can by documenting their daily lives. So the next team under the circular economy vertical converts biomaterial from coffee ground waste and other agriculture waste to consumer products such as cups and mugs for F&B and hospitality industries. So introducing our team.
How do you want to start your day? Today let's start with a cup made of coffee ground. The problem I want to draw your attention to is the waste. Every day, when you drink more than 2 billion cups of coffee, you actually throw away billions of paper cups and millions of spent coffee ground into the landfills per year. What does this mean? Methane emitted from the spent coffee ground is becoming the leading criminal for the global warming crime. Other than that, the industry of the paper cup production has to certify from 3 to 7 billion of trees per year, but the paper cup cannot be recycled itself, so that's why it releases the toxic chemicals that be harmful to the human health and the environment. What can we do? We manufacture a single-use cup made of coffee ground. The material must be a combination among the spent coffee ground, other type of biomass, and a bio-based bonding agent. As for our target supply chain, we focus to have a sustainable cycle where the coffee shops supply the spent coffee grounds to us and purchase our cups, and we do the collection of the used cups later on for the reproduction. It actually have to relieve the major part of the trash handling expense, and our cups could be a big plus for their customer experience. Let's jump to the market. We do recognize the coffee culture globally, but when it comes to the starting point, Vietnam would be the answer. Not only because the country showed tremendous economic potential during the COVID-19, but also its people are among the top confident consumers who favor coffee over any kind of other drinks. This translates to a thriving number of coffee shops in Vietnam of more than 30,000 outlets, of which 20% is from the chain outlets. Based on our conservative analysis, we aim to serve a starting market of more than $30 million. Along with the growth, our product portfolio will be developed to cater more for the F&B outlets with takeaway. The technology that we use to manufacture the cups will be transferable for other kinds of consumer product categories. Let's jump to the competitor landscape. We aim to take over the paper cup industry due to its massive impact for the environment. And we target to drive the cost down so that we can sell off at least like 5% extra of the current price of the paper cup. In terms of the environmental impact, our products will be the answers for the aforementioned challenges. It means that the reduction of the waste, of the exploitation of the natural resource, and also slow down the process of releasing the toxic chemicals from paper cup manufacturing industry. At the moment, we are developing the prototype, but yet we have already received an active interest from a rapid growing coffee chain of more than 100 outlets. Our 1-year prospect will be focused on the prototype development and also to test the market as well as the technical qualities for the product fit. To accelerate this, we will ask for a network of experts who specialize in biomaterial, chemical engineering, as well as product design. As we're starting as a small one, but we aim for a big target. After the first milestone, let's say after 6 months, we would go for mentorship, farmer sector funding. At the moment, our team has 2 members, and we both have international experience who are solid in terms of business and technical science. Our co-founder is willing to relocate to Vietnam or Singapore to spend his full effort in R&D, depending on the working situation. Thank you for your listening, and we welcome any kind of questions.
Thank you, Archie, for that amazing pitch. So to use everyday biomaterials and give it another life presents such a huge business opportunity, especially in Vietnam. So drinking coffee, after all, is what I would consider an identity of Vietnam. So our last startup for today has our youngest entrepreneur. She's running an enterprise in the circular economy vertical that focuses on completing the plastic life cycle by collecting plastics, using a machine to wash the contaminated recyclable bottles, and breathe new life into them by turning it into functional lifestyle items. So introducing Recytic.
Singapore is littered with the iconic blue recycling bin. It is not a stranger to anyone. Over 65% of Singaporeans know about the importance of recycling, but only about 11% of plastic waste is thrown into recycling bins, and only 40% of these items actually get recycled. That's almost 1 million tons of discarded plastic. So where along the lines did we get it wrong? Misconceptions. People would just anyhow throw away their dirty plastic into the bin, but we cannot do that, because food and liquids contaminate items in the bin. Recycling companies do not wash these recyclables for you. They find it easier to just throw them away instead of waste time and manpower washing them. There have been efforts to educate Singaporeans about proper disposal of recyclables, but these efforts have been futile. Why? Because there is no incentive for users to take actions. Thinking, oh, it's inconvenient or nobody else is doing it, so why should I? This is where we come in. Hello, my name is Andrea, and I'm here to talk to you about Recytic. Recytic was started due to our desire to develop recycling culture in Singapore. We believe that if we can make the process of recycling more convenient for consumers, much more clean plastics can be collected. But to create a culture, the community has to be involved. Therefore, we must value the education of the youth and the welfare of the informal recyclers or the rag and bone men. Putting these values into action, Recytic will collect and wash plastic bottles, organize recycling drives and workshops, and most importantly, automate the recycling process. Enter Damien, an innovative machine that automatically washes your recyclable bottles. It is akin to using a regular trash can. Just throw the bottle in, then it's out of sight, out of mind. but behind the scenes, it's actually getting washed and placed into a recycling bin. So gone are the days of cross-contaminated trash in recycling bins. With Recytic, everything ends up clean. No more hassle in looking for a sink to rinse your bottles yourself. With Recytic, we clean and dispose of it all in one place. And the best part is, it's interactive. And since experience is the best teacher, you get to help the planet and learn about proper recycling too. We've been working on Damien since 2019, and we have managed to get user feedback and support from Temasek Polytechnic as well as grassroots initiatives in Tampines, where we hope to pilot test out the machines. We can potentially reach 365 primary and secondary schools in Singapore and 144 markets and hawker centers, while creating jobs for 10 Karanguni men and collecting 300 tons of plastic bottles. But to be financially stable, our plan is to generate revenue from the sale of collected plastic bottles and hosting educational workshops in schools. We will also be leasing the machines to malls where the mall owners get a percentage of the profits from the plastics collected in their mall. So that means your trash turns into cash. In the future, we hope to create a dedicated space to host plastic recycling workshops where users can upcycle plastic bottles into useful items. We are also aware of the water and electrical usage in order to run Damien, which is why we are hoping to one day develop a design which is the most energy efficient or runs on renewable energy. Our projected goals throughout the next 4 years are to be able to recycle at least 500,000 kilograms of plastic waste and have established partnerships with Karanguni and other recycling companies in Singapore, as well as gain a revenue of $10,000. Looking even further into the future, we hope to be able to recycle 60% of plastic waste in Singapore and expand to the Southeast Asian market. Now, coming back to the present, in 2020, as the pandemic dies down, we are focusing on having our completed prototype 2.0, the physical one, and have it set up and tested in Temasek Polytechnic. We will also continue to identify and communicate with communities who can partner with us. And since big dreams take much longer to accomplish on our own, our team is actively looking for mentors who can provide expert opinion while we embark on this journey. We are currently focusing on prototyping, so our team is looking for connections to engineers, particularly those with an expertise in water and waste management as well as sustainable energy. So if you're interested, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram at RecyticSG or email us at recyticsg@gmail.com. That is all. Thank you.
Thank you, Recytic, for the wonderful pitch. So it is an interesting idea to have smart recycle bins that have a wash function, which helps ensure that all the recyclable materials thrown into the bins can be properly recycled. So this concludes all our 13 teams' virtual pitches. And as mentioned at the start of the event, 3 teams will be selected to receive hands-on mentorship and business coaching from Riepra, a patient capital venture builder headquartered in Singapore, to pitch to their investment committee for up to 100,000 Singapore dollars of funding. So we would first like to invite Ms. Priscilla from Riepra to elaborate a bit more about their philosophy behind their funding before announcing our selected teams. Priscilla, please.
Hi. So thank you very much, guys. I think you guys did a great job, and I'm actually really excited that you guys started your entrepreneur journey with YSI and that you are one step closer to making a positive impact on our society. So this is where Riepra feels very strongly about, and that's why we are participating in this. We want to be part of this YSI Demo Day. So Riepra is a venture builder based in Singapore, Tokyo, Vietnam, and Thailand. We've been around since 2014, and we've invested with over 60 different businesses across Southeast Asia and Japan. And our mission is through research and practice to co-create new industries that have positive impact to society. And so, you know, with our mission is very aligned with YSI as well. And that's why this year we wanted to be a very active participant in YSI's Demo Day. You know, our philosophy is really to build businesses from scratch. So we are very excited to work with founders at the idea stage. And that's where we bring the most value in terms of our hands-on support. And I think what we're trying to achieve is, you know, trying to solve complex problems in a very efficient way. And we want to work with founders across Southeast Asia and in the future in Asia to be able to solve these complex problems for our society. So I think that's a short intro, and if anybody has any more questions about us, please feel free to ask and reach out to us. We have selected 3 startups to work with, and we have selected these startups based on multiple considerations. Idea stage was also a key consideration for us. All of your ideas are great, and all have a lot of potential. And we have chosen 3 that we can work with more directly based on the promising fields that we have picked as a firm. So the 3 startups that we've picked are Circular Blueprint. Second is, in no particular order, by the way, and second is Bali Recycle Up, and last is Frescue. So we look forward to working with all 3 teams more, more intimately to help you achieve your company's mission. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Priscilla. And congratulations to all the teams for moving on to the next phase of your startup journey. So YSIC will always be here to continue to support you in your journey to scale up your impact across the region. So we'll now move on to the networking segment, which is a free and easy segment, so you can stay as long as you would like. So this is a great opportunity for all investors who would like to speak to our 23 founders and their teammates in each of their respective rooms, as well as an opportunity to network with our innovation program partners. So we will use a virtual networking platform called Remo. So to access Remo, click on the link shared by YSIC in the Zoom chat. So I'll see you there, and I'll give you a quick run through over on that platform. And to all our public audience, thank you for joining YSIC Virtual Demo Day 2020. If you'd like to find out more about YSIC, you can follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram at the handles you see on the screen right now. So once again, my name is Amelia Sia. Have a great evening and take care.